Welcome. Neuroscience shows that reputations update slowly because the brain protects itself with caution and pattern seeking. People measure character by chains of events, not by one bright spark, and the chain takes weeks to forge. The old label of grumpy sticks like burrs in a coat because fear remembers longer than relief. This gathering is an introduction to a different rhythm of proof, steady as a clock in a dark room. I am here with you tonight, a voice in a small interior town, the kind where the streetlights buzz and the roads bend toward the woods. I will speak of the long trail from being seen as harsh to being known as gentle, and how the trail is walked one quiet mile at a time. There is no miracle in this, only the slow turn of the wheel and the patience to let it turn. The house inside, the one behind the face, gets aired out by small mercies and patient choices, and the hallways stop smelling like last winter. Visualize a small lamp glowing in a quiet room, steady and warm. Psychology has a name for why the sour memory sticks harder than the sweet one, and it is called negativity bias. The town mind, which is only the sum of many private minds, clings to the worst snapshot because danger could live there. The loud deed gets archived, the quiet repair gets misplaced, and the filing cabinet of gossip loves a heavy folder. That is why a new kindness once is not enough to fool the clerks that run the records of the heart. I have known that clerk, paper-cut fingers, a smudge on the glasses, counting the old days twice and the new days half. The old story wants to be told again, as if it owns the room and pays the rent. But there is a stronger tenant moving in, one who does not slam doors, one who leaves the sink clean and the porch light on. Week by week, that tenant becomes the landlord. Visualize a clear window pane with rain sliding down, each drop a slow comet. Behavioral science speaks of extinction curves, where the old response fades when the expected trigger stops arriving. Weeks matter because repetition melts the crust that formed around the first impression. This is not romance. This is arithmetic, and arithmetic can be kind. Habituation does not hurry. It shows up wearing boots and walks the fence line after every storm. I remember those fence lines, the sagging wire, the staple twists, the way an old post leans and still does the job. A person can be like that old post, scarred and steady, holding the line through weather that would chill the bones. When the storms pass and the cattle wander closer, it is not a miracle. It is a job done every day and done without applause. The math of mercy is dull at first, and then it grows beautiful. Visualize a straight road under moonlight, white lines ticking past in silence. Kindness that works on reputation does not wear a parade uniform, because parades end and the confetti sticks in the gutters. Considered kindness is not soft on the edges. It is strong and quiet, tempered in silence. People suspect a trick when a sudden smile shows up too big and too bright, and that is fair. The wise way is a cup placed gently on a table again and again, without the rattling flourish. I have poured those cups in daylight and midnight, in kitchens that smelled like rain and others that smelled like old smoke. The thing about kindness is that it keeps its own counsel. It does not keep score, but it keeps showing up. When it is real, the house notices first, the dog second, the neighbor last. And late in the month, the neighbor nods as if he is remembering you from a dream that did not scare him. Visualize a smooth river stone resting in your palm, cool and patient. There is a rough truth here about other people, and it is not pretty. Sometimes they jab because they want to know if your smile bleeds, and sometimes they jab because something else hurt them earlier. Stress travels like a rumor on a windy night, bouncing from door to door. Reliability gets tested, especially after the verdict of grumpy has been stamped and stapled. I have heard the stamp thud on the wooden desk, and I have seen the red ink soak through 2 sheets. It is not fair, but it is familiar. Outlasting a test takes less drama than you think and more staying power than you expected. It is a long hallway with a burned-out bulb and a locked door at the far end that opens in the quietest way. Visualize a lighthouse beam circling over dark water, arriving and departing in rhythm. Selflessness without boundaries becomes martyrdom, and martyrdom breeds secret resentment that smells like damp cloth. Kindness with boundaries is clean, like sheets sun-dried on a line. Social norms respond best to steady warmth paired with clear edges. The combination feels trustworthy. You can carry another bag without letting anyone crawl inside your spine. I have watched helpers go hollow because they forgot the word no, and I have watched others remain full because they used it with care. The world respects the person who stays at the door and welcomes others in, but does not give away the hinges. You can be generous and still be real, and it shows in the eyes more than anywhere else. Realness lives longer than showmanship, and the days stack up in your favor. Visualize a quiet snowfall, flakes drifting through the streetlight halo. Micro-expressions tell more than speeches, measured in half seconds and crow's feet. The jaw unclenches, the shoulders drop, and a diner waitress who has seen it all makes 2 decisions before the coffee lands. Perception is a quick sketch more than a painting, and the first lines matter. You will be read even when you say nothing, which is both a danger and a promise. I have sat at those counters, spoon tapping a dull hymn against the mug, the bell on the door doing its little tin prayer. A face learns a new resting place over the weeks, one that does not ache by sundown. The room starts to relax around that face, like a dog that has decided the thunder will pass. Then the coffee tastes better, and no one can explain why. Visualize a blank movie screen waiting, calm and generous as sky. Memory is not a vault. It is a workshop that rewrites when the door opens. Reconsolidation lets a fresh episode sneak into the old file and change the story a little at a time. Spaced repetition is not only for facts and foreign words, it is for character, and people learn you the way they learn a tune. New verses convince where choruses do not. I have heard those tunes float through screen doors in July, crude and perfect, and the melody got better every time the chords came back. This is the quiet craft of becoming who you meant to be, stitched one week to the next. The stitches hold because you do not yank them. You pull them snug and let them set. The coat begins to fit, and the cold bites less. Visualize a door slightly open to a sunlit room, a soft gold spilling across the floor. There will be a bad day that feels like a wreck in slow motion, and the old title will try to climb back up the stairs. Trends matter more than spikes. That is true in weather, markets, and moods. A single howl in the night does not mean the wolves own the town. If the line is bending toward gentle, the work is working. I have seen good lines on bad days, quiet victories behind ugly headlines, and it is a comfort older than my bones. The neighbors will talk anyway, because neighbors talk, and sometimes the talk helps. The past will knock, polite as a taxman, and you will remember you paid what you owed. The month will close with you still on your feet. Visualize a slow burning ember, deep red at the center, calm and sure. Monotony is the secret staircase of character. The steps squeak, the wallpaper peels, and anyone looking for drama will miss the treasure. Most reputations change while no one is watching, in the middle of chores, errands, and small words that are not sharp. Boredom is only the cover story for transformation. I have walked those stairs, dust in the throat, a spider web on the face, and then the landing opened into plain morning light. In that light, the old scowl loses its job. The face finds a softer job that pays better in sleep. The day begins without noise, and the house seems to thank you. Visualize a tall pine forest, green breath of needles, light sifting down like dust. Social proof spreads like ivy when it finally catches a brick. One nod begets two, and the town finds a new shortcut through its suspicions. Even the dog that knows your boots will register the change and wag first. The label does not so much fall off as it stops sticking to new conversations. I have stood on those porches and felt the warm lift of an ordinary greeting where a wary glance used to live. You become a home address rather than a warning sign, a place to stop and ask for directions. People do not narrate the shift. They simply behave as if you had always been this way. The clerk in the Heart's records stamps a new card and files it where it can be found. Visualize the same image as before, steady and unchanged. closing. The road you walked was never glamorous, and yet it shines now, the kind of shine you only see if you have driven lonely miles at midnight. A grumpy legend can be buried by daylight work, week after week, and nothing supernatural about it. Your name becomes lighter to carry, and the house inside unlocks its windows. I have known this ending, which is not an ending at all, just a new season starting with the same calendar and a different weather pattern. This meditation ends with that simple truth. Reputations do not change for the dramatic. They change for the patient. Inside, the furniture has been moved closer to the windows, and the air is easier to breathe. Let this be enough, and let it be ordinary. Visualize the lamp again, and let its glow fade gently to black.